Hi guys, Heidi Cooper here, functional medicine practitioner, licensed esthetician from Skin Side Out. Today I want to share the really important connection between the liver and the skin. So if you have any sort of skin challenges, whether it be acne, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, any rashes or itchy skin, even wrinkles in specific areas, they can all be tied back to the liver oftentimes. So let me explain why. The liver is responsible for phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 detoxification. So phase 1 and phase 2 are where the body processes toxins that we're exposed to. Phase 3 is where it dumps the toxins into the bile, and as long as the bile can move, we're okay. But that oftentimes is not the case because of all of these toxic exposures start to overburden the system and the bile does not move. So bile is responsible for our digestive process. And so the bile actually travels back and forth between the liver and the small intestine about 6 to 8 times a day. It is this recycling process. However, when this toxin buildup occurs and the body has a difficult time processing all of these toxins and the body becomes overburdened, that bile does not move. Or what does move, what does it do? It takes those toxins with it. So we really need to focus when we have all of these different exposures, and we'll go over some of where we can have this compromised bile acid production or bile flow from. But when we have this going on, we're basically auto-intoxicating or re-intoxicating. And then, that bile gets shoved into the bloodstream, and that's where we start to see issues with the skin. And it presents itself differently for different people, but it's an inflammatory response that results in many, many different types of skin conditions, as we mentioned above. So some of the reasons for this, and there's some really amazing research to back up, glyphosate really impairs bile synthesis. So if you're not familiar with glyphosate, it's in what's a pesticide called Roundup that's commonly used and is in really a number of foods that we consume now. It's really even in the environment. It's really hard to get away from. In fact, there are some estimates that say that it is in 96% of Americans' urine these days. So that's pretty scary to think that we have so much exposure to that glyphosate in the first place, and then the research is showing that it really creates problems with bile. So that's where we can be getting some of that exposure or some of those issues with bile. And then also if we've got high estrogen and some hormonal imbalance, that also inhibits the bile acid transportation as well. And if you've got low thyroid, then we can pretty much assume that there are bile transportation issues. And then viruses, parasites, and other toxins can be responsible for low bile acid movement as well. So some of the reasons why that would be happening in the first place. So now we'll kind of look at some of the hallmark signs of some of these issues from the liver with the skin. If you've got an oily forehead, that's a really good indicator that there's some sort of liver skin connection. If you've got acne, right around or in the eyebrows or between the eyebrows or right here on the temples, that often is a sign that the liver is really having issues. And then if you've got lines between the eyebrows, so the 11s, it's another sign that the liver is impaired or really stressed. And that is very, very common. We see those 11s on people often and really need to look at addressing the liver in that situation. And then clammy skin, so if you've got clammy palms, that can be another one. Yellowing of the skin or itchy skin, and then all of the above mentioned acne, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, all of those can be reflective of liver impairment or bile flow issues there as well. So just wanted to share a little bit of information on this first video. The next video I'm going to share this week will be the most amazing liver support you've probably never heard of, that we can really work to support liver and bile flow and getting the liver functioning properly so that we don't have some of these skin issues. So I hope that was some helpful information for you. If it was, please like and share this video. Health and happiness. Have a super fantastic day. Thanks so much.